Are you affirming that you think President Trump is a fascist?
I've spoken about...
That's okay, you can just say yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay. It's easier. It's easier than explaining it. I don't mind.
Good Yawning, America. When Trump met MAMDANI, the socialist, the showman, and the short circuit, because it was just, I suppose you can call it box office.
This is a man that right now I think is focused in New York City. I really think he has a chance to do a great job.
Good Yawning, America. Today was the diplomatic equivalent of, I would say, watching a cat try to negotiate with a Womba. Or a Rumba, if I can pronounce it. Trump finally met his new best frenemy.
Good views and a little out there, but who knows? I mean, we're going to see what works, or he's going to change also. We all change. I change a lot.
New York Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani. Yeah, the same Mamdani who Trump has been calling a radical socialist, a communist, and at one point I swear he called him a Bernie Sanders fun-size edition. It's all politics. And somehow, this man walks into the White House today and Trump melts like a MAGA hat in the dishwasher.
Just one word, wow. Kami Mamdani, as the president has quoted, referring to his guest in the Oval Office there for the past several months.
Trump, this is serious. Trump looked at Mamdani, 34 years old, Democratic socialist, beat Andrew Cuomo like he was an unpaid hotel bill, and suddenly Trump's in the Oval Office like, welcome, welcome. I think he'll do a great job, folks. I'm not lying. Maybe the greatest job ever. Maybe I'll even move back to New York, said Trump.
Refine it, and I think you're going to see some very positive things happen.
There is the potential to invite the Lebanese president.
Oh, sure. Oh, I would do that, absolutely. And if the mayor would like to be here for that meeting, because I know he feels very strongly. I think you feel very, very strongly about peace in the Middle East. I think
we desperately want it, and that's something that I shared with the president, that when I spoke to New Yorkers who had voted for the president last November on Hillside Avenue and Fordham Road, I asked them why. I heard again and again two major reasons. One was that they wanted an end to forever wars. They wanted an end to the taxpayer dollars we had funding violations of human rights, and they wanted to address the cost of living crisis.
It's incredible! Sir, you left New York like it was a crime scene. New York would let you back the same day, I suppose, Banksy comes out and admits he's Rudy Giuliani. Pigs flying, not going to happen.
all right, I think he's different, and that can be in a very positive way, but I think he's different than, you know, your typical guy, runs, wins, becomes mayor maybe, and nothing exciting. Because he has a chance to really do something great for New York. New York is at a very critical point, and he does need the help of the federal government to really succeed, and we're going to be helping him. But he's different than, you know, your average candidate. Hey, he came out of nowhere. I said he has a great campaign manager standing over there. He came out of nowhere. What'd you start off at 1 or 2? And then I watched. I said, who is this guy? He was at 1. Then he was at 3, then he was at 5, then he was at 9. Then he went up to 17. I said,
But here's the chef's, well, the kiss part of the whole circus. This meeting happened just hours after House Republicans passed a big, dramatic resolution.
On this vote, the yeas are 285 and the nays are 98, with 2 answering present. The concurrent resolution is adopted. Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
Seriously, condemning socialism. A whole speech.
We have an interview to conduct. Riley, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Figured I would come back to New York City one more time before it goes full-blown commie.
And then Trump wheels out MAMDANI like he's bringing out a contestant on The Apprentice. At least Stefanik just faints in the corner.
Mr. President, Republican Elise Stefanik has campaigned multiple times by calling Zohran Mamdani a jihadist.
The wheels on the bus go round and round, round, and Elise Stefanik is under it.
oh, no, I know, but she's out there campaigning, and, you know, you say things sometimes in a campaign.
Isn't that sort of
She's a very capable person. But you really have to ask her about that. But I don't particularly. I think I met with a man who's a very rational person.
Ladies and gentlemen, my impression's so bad. My favourite socialist. He's terrific, absolutely terrific. I feel I'm underselling it because the cop spent the morning yelling, "Socialism will destroy America." By the afternoon, Trump's like, sold.
See, that's what we just watched. Now I'm in New York City. We were watching that press conference. I think J.D. Vance is jealous. I think the president wants to use him as a running mate. They really got along fantastic. Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade, lucky enough to fill in for Will Kane.
DeSantis in Florida must have watched that thinking, well, so Trump really does only like people younger, darker, and more successful than him.
And Zoran Mamdani is the person who is now associated with fixing that problem. So is it any surprise that Donald Trump wants to stand next to Zoran Mamdani and say, oh, yeah, we think about things the same way, particularly when it comes to affordability? He's just trying to take a little of the shine that Zoran Mamdani has and see if he can, rub a little on Donald Trump.
And then we stayed cool, calm, Professor Energy. Well, Trump, to be fair, did the whole showman, like his internal hard drive was buffering every time Mamdani used a 3-syllable word.
I really would, especially after the meeting. Absolutely.
What makes you comfortable?
We agree on a lot more than I would have thought. I think I want him to do a great job, and we'll help him do a great job.
He thinks he'll do a great job, though. That's a head-spinning comment. But he found areas they can work on together. And I think today demonstrates again that the media and most on the Hill, they've never really understood Trump. Because if they truly, truly cared about improving the lives of the middle class, by the way,
I'm speechless. And then the craziest thing, Fox tried to, do the gotcha. Trump starts defending him from tough questions. No lie. Defending a socialist. Trump hasn't defended someone, this hard since, himself.
New York City home. Would you feel comfortable living in New York City under a Mamdani administration?
Yeah, I would. I really would. Especially after the meeting.
I don't know what the next chapter is. Today's meeting, I'll sum this up. Today's meeting looked like a crossover nobody asked for. Imagine Law and Order, Special Clown Unit meets serious adult who actually has a job.
Now I've seen everything. Hi again, everybody. You've been watching Donald Trump fall in love with New York City's mayor-elect Zoran Mamdani in the Oval Office after a meeting with high stakes for the country's largest city.
That's how crazy and ridiculous it was. I repeat, Trump spent years warning America that socialism was the end of civilization. And today, he's basically auditioning to be Mamdani's deputy mayor. If you're J.D. Vance, you're thinking, oh no, I'm over here. Anyway, there you have it. On the same day the Republicans staged a national meltdown about socialism, Donald Trump hugged one, praised one, and tried to sublet a penthouse under one. What do you want me to say? America, if hypocrisy had a face, straight up, it would be orange, confused, and possibly saying, we don't know each other, but I like him. Terrific guy. And Tony will be working on his impression.